We are at a strange place in American history where a lot needs to change. A lot has changed, but I want to go through some of the biggest news stories with JJ Carroll. JJ, thank you for joining me again.
Oh, thank you very much. You're right. As you and I were just speaking off camera for 10 minutes, finally we just said, hey, we got to get on the air. That's how overwhelming daily news is, right? The news cycle is like every 4 hours now.
Yeah. Alex Jones said last night, what used to be a mile a minute is now 100 miles a minute. It's just, it's moving so quickly. Yeah. And some of it seems on purpose. Hey, let me get your thoughts on this. So New York gets this new mayor, Zohran Mamdani. A lot of people are afraid. He has me nervous because I don't know what he's going to do. He was voted in primarily by younger Americans, specifically single women who believe the government is the answer to their problems, not hard work and industry and capitalism. He mostly won by saying he's going to give free stuff. Well, now Kathy Hochul, the governor, she's saying we're not going to really let him make very many changes. We might stand shoulder to shoulder with him when it comes to fighting Trump on ICE and getting rid of illegal immigrants. But now it's being reported that he is out there begging people for money so that he can give away free stuff. So I'm kind of starting to wonder, what are your thoughts on this guy? They always say follow the money, but I'm just wondering if the actual Democrat Party that wants to be in control of Bernie Sanders and AOC and everybody and contain everybody, this guy's now out begging for money so that he can give free stuff away. What do you think is going to happen with Zohran Mamdani?
Well, it's going to be a disaster. You're going to have guys like me in law enforcement that are going to just say, I'm out. Like they're literally, I'm sure right now there are calls to all the local jurisdiction outside of New York City so they keep their pensions, and they're going to go to all of the firemen, law enforcement are going to leave. You're going to have mass chaos. You're going to have basically flight millionaires, people with money are going to leave because he's going to do rent control. He's going to do the free grocery store, right? But I think the biggest story here, and no one's talking about it, is how did a man that's 34 years old that never, ever had a job, is a foreign national from, I think, Uganda, become the governor, the mayor of New York City? Well, it's because New York City is infested with legal and illegal immigrants, and they all have the ability to vote under the law in New York, in the state of New York. So we are looking at what it looks like to be replaced. This is at first I was angry at all the young white women, which I believe is a cancer in the voting mechanism. But then I stepped back and said, okay, let me look at how many illegal aliens that I know are physically in the walls of New York City and can vote. How many legal immigrants under the quasi parole system under Joe Biden? So we are looking at the manifestation of open borders. We're looking at the manifestation of being replaced. And what are we going to be replaced with? Well, we're going to get replaced by, and I know this is going to be harsh to say, and people are going to recoil, but fact check me all you want. We're being replaced by third world peasants that are illiterate in their own language, do not know how to read or write in their own language, don't understand our Constitution. And what do they vote for? What they know. We all vote for what we love and know. What do they know? They know communism, they know socialism, they know free stuff. And because they are brought here under false pretense or crossed illegally, they are dependent solely on the government for survival. So this is and if you think this cancer is going to stay contained in New York City, you're a fool. Springfield, Ohio, Laughlin, Ohio, Cincinnati, multiple places in Indiana, Texas, little towns in Texas. This cancer is spreading across America.
Yeah. Well, I read something yesterday that when it comes to the federal dollars that get sent out to the 50 different states, Puerto Rico and Washington, D.C., about 5% of that ends up going towards healthcare reimbursement costs for illegal immigrants. In the state of California, it's 35%. So literally, without taking money from us and giving it to California. California collapses. I'm just wondering at what point do we just yank away all of the different sources of money and the illegals self-deport at a rate we've never seen before?
No, I think that's a great point. I'm all for law enforcement deportations, but there's another aspect that has to be. When you understand that they're not here to be Americans, they don't give a crap about America, they want to take from America. And when you remove the free education, the free healthcare, the free food, the free rent, they will self-deport. Let me just give you a number. It's shocking, right? So 2024, the legislator in California came out and said, we spent $6 billion on illegal alien healthcare from like 17 years old to 49. Not even the young kids and babies or the old people, just this sliver. Then they came back at the end of the legislative cycle and said, well, we had to redo the numbers. And the woman's almost whispering now as she's saying it on the floor. She says, well, the real number is $9.7 billion for illegal aliens in California. And you know, you and I were talking about this right before we came on. Elon Musk last interview with Joe Rogan, excuse me. And Elon Musk says, this is the only way blue states like Illinois, New York, and California balance their budgets, is they push these fraudulent claims of being reimbursement for Medicare. And then the federal government gives them tens of billions of dollars, and then they can stay afloat. If we took all that money from them, they would bankrupt, and that is what needs to happen.
Yeah, the scariest word that I heard from Elon Musk in that entire interview was these states are allowed to self-report. So nobody's checking these numbers, and nobody seems to give any kind of pushback. It's literally just, oh, this is the number. How did they come up with it? We don't know, but this is the number they gave us. Okay, go ahead and wire them the money. We'll just take it out of the taxpayer. That to me is very dangerous, because anytime somebody self-reports, there's usually a lie involved.
Well, why should, so for example, I live in Kansas. Why should I subsidize the evil, the corrupt, and the incompetent California? I lived there for 24, 25 years. I loved it living there. I saw it just deteriorate almost overnight. It went from a solid red Republican state to a supermajority Democrat, and it is absolutely blowing up right now. They're dying on the vine. But why should I or any other the other red states have our money taken and given to these people that are liars and cheats? And maybe this is the bigger conversation, is where the hell is the justice? Where the hell is Donald Trump? Honestly, I'm a big Trump guy, MAGA guy, but I have to question, sir, what are you doing? No one's gone to jail. At this time in Joe Biden's term in president, he already arrested probably almost 1,000 January 6ers, going to their houses, ransacking their houses, dragging them out in their bunny slippers and throwing them in jail. No one's been arrested. Why is Gavin Newsom not being brought up on charges? Why is Karen Bass not brought up in charges with the Pacific Palisades? Why is there no justice in America? And I'll finish with this. If you do not have law and order, i.e. justice, you don't have freedoms and opportunity, because freedom and opportunity is the foundation of that is based on law and order. We do not live in a law and order society anymore. Everyone can feel it. We live in a chaotic society where everything is subjective. Same thing with Mamdani, same thing with California. We're being led by the most intellectually grotesque morons and evil criminals that I've ever witnessed, maybe in history, because of the amount of money we're talking about, the amount of power we're talking about, and not one person is held accountable. Dude, you and I did this on any level, any kind of level of fraud with your podcasting, me with my business, whatever. We're going to jail, dude. We're going to jail. We'll be begging for mercy, and yet the elites, nothing happens to them. And I'll tell you, and I'd love to hear your take on this. I think we're closer to Americans rising up and being so pissed off than anyone even has an idea. You could feel the anger just bubbling up. People have had it, man. We've had it. And we kind of went all in, like pushed all our chips in on Donald Trump. And now all of us, a lot of us are trying to pull some of our chips back and go, whoa, okay, hold on a second. Maybe I shouldn't have gone all in.
Yeah.
That's how we feel.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we'll get deeper into that, but there is, especially in this last week, there's a lot of people going, wait a minute. I think the focus is not in the right place. I wanted to throw this idea out at you. So, I don't know if I said this with you or someone handsome like you, but it was somebody where I said, Trump, because of his ego, he wants to go into LA. He wants to go into Chicago. Well, these are blue areas that don't want him. ICE is being attacked, people ramming cars, like fake calls to bring him out, shoot him. And then he ends up going into Tennessee, a red area, into a blue city, Memphis. Memphis is thrilled. They're thrilled. The National Guard, they didn't get the same kind of pushback. I'm just wondering if we start going after Tren de Aragua, the Sinaloa cartel, the murderers, the gangbangers, the rapists in all of the red areas with our physical force. And then in these blue areas, they just start drying up the money. So money for the blue areas speaks the loudest. And then physical force where they're accepted and cheered into the red areas. I don't know. It's just a thought I had.
No, I think that's a great idea, because I'm looking at what Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, and Donald Trump are trying to do, and they're making headway, but it's just not working. It's inefficient. It's just the honest truth. It's not working. So I think that's a great idea. Why don't you just go clean up what's the most easiest right now, and then turn off the spigot for money and literally strangle those cities to be like, okay, in states, California, no more money. Your Medicare is done. We see that California, you have overcharged us for the last 10 years. You owe us $700 billion. Interest starts, payments start. Now they have to physically begin to chop their budget. Same thing with New York and Illinois. You start chopping, and then you clean up. What do we have? 36 to 40 real red states. Why don't we just go into those red states and clean it out, and then work? Then now we have some momentum. Now we're going to go into Chicago as we choked you out. I think that's a brilliant idea. Actually, I didn't even think of that. Honestly, as you were saying it to me, I was like, damn, that's a really good idea. Yeah. If I ever have 30 seconds with Donald Trump on top of the other things I would talk to him, I'll just tell him, hey, man, this guy Gardner came up with an idea. It's actually brilliant.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is like, okay, I get it. Biden said this, Trump has said this. I'm the president for the entire country, and you are, but you don't have the loyalty of the entire country. So why don't you take off your purple tie? Your blue and your red makes purple. Take that off, put your red tie back on, and say, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go clean up the areas that love me and voted for me. And then they're going to make a billion TikToks where people in Chicago and LA are going to go, wow, your children can play again, huh? Oh, there's no drive-by shootings. Oh, you guys have plenty of food. Your unemployment numbers look really good. You don't have cartels jacking cars and all. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, there is something like, at first I thought, yes, go in heavy on these places. But now I'm rethinking this, going, just go to the areas that love you. Like, if you want JD Vance to take over, then you have to be successful in the areas that voted for you. Otherwise, it's going to go to Gavin Newsom, and we're all going to be fighting an uphill blue battle. I don't know. These are just thoughts that I've had. I have no one to share them with.
No, I think I really believe that's a brilliant idea. And I'll give you an example. What you mentioned, Memphis. So no pushback. Memphis is a blue, predominantly black city with violent historical violent crime, like off the chart violent crime. And that TikTok video of that young black child, I think I would have to guess 10 years old, and he's thanking Donald Trump. And they said, why are you thanking Donald Trump? He's like, because I can come outside and play. What? Like, I don't live in those neighborhoods. My son goes out and plays however he wants. He rides his bike, goes fishing at the local pond. I'm not worried about gang members coming and shooting them. These kids are worried about stray bullets. They're worried about getting shucking down. So the idea that you're coming with, I think, is brilliant, because when you put someone that has been affected by the illegal aliens, the crime, the rot, and they're saying, especially a young kid, thank you, I can go out and play. Something as simple as that, and now magnify that times millions of people saying, wow, I got a refund for my check because at the end of the year for taxes, because my state's in the black. My state actually has revenue because we got rid of all the illegal aliens. Holy mother of God. Look at my car insurance went down because we got rid of all the criminals. See, and that adds up, right? You take a couple $100 off your car insurance, a couple $100 off the homeowner's insurance, your food cost goes down, on and on. Now I have money in my pocket. Now America's thriving. That's not happening right now. America's not thriving. I don't care what Trump or anyone else says. In the real world, no one is feeling a sense of security and a sense of safety. No one is. Unless I am just in my own algorithm, which I don't think I am. Are you feeling that? Do you get that same sense from the people that watch your show and the people you talk to on the street, that everyone's just skipping around with rainbows and unicorns and going, "Oh, I feel so safe and financially secure"? I don't see that with anybody. I'm talking with my friends that are very, very successful professionally. They're stressed, man.
I'm definitely I'm hearing it from people, but I'll just give you a personal example. I'm seeing it in sponsorships. They're pulling back. This is the time of year where people are pushing into the market with tons of money because we're going into Christmas, and you've got businesses saying we're pulling back. Mm-hmm. So they're feeling it. They're wondering what's going on. They're seeing, okay, I'm proud of Trump for all of the foreign stuff that he's done, but now let's get America going. Let's lower these prices. And so I do feel like the White House knows they need to shift. And of course, boom, you've got Epstein coming on. Boom, you've got impeachment threats. Boom, you've got a government shutdown. So, I'm not saying that he's not dealing with 100 headaches a day, but just get rid of the noise, get the signal. What do your voters want? Quit trying to placate and please the Democrats and the green-haired monsters out there, and just say, this area voted for me. I'm going to clean it up. This area, we're gonna make life more affordable. I don't know. I feel like we need some laser focus right now.
We do need laser focused, and I don't think he is laser focused. Now, I will give Trump this caveat, is that he's doing things. He's kind of those guys that could do multiple things at like high level, multiple things at once. However, the perception of what's happening is he's flying to the Middle East and we're going to get rid of these wars and we're going to get rid of these wars. America doesn't even know there's wars going on in these countries. And quite honestly, I don't give a rip about what's happening around the world. How about you just get laser focused? I've asked for this and written about it. How about a 30-day moratorium on everything and everyone, and we focus solely on America and Americans? Wouldn't that be a novel approach on how to govern, instead of fighting and worrying about what Israel's doing and what they're fighting, or Nigeria Christians are getting slaughtered, or this or that? All of those things are important. They are not in the top 1,000 in Americans' lives. So let's focus on the top 100 things that affect Americans right now, and stop going for your Nobel Peace Prize, President Trump. Honestly, who gives an S about your Nobel Peace Prize when you have people that do not have enough money to make it through the month? That's what you need to focus on. I don't care about Ukraine and what Putin's doing. I don't care if he blows Ukraine off the map. I don't care. I care about my brothers and sisters in my country. That's it. And shouldn't the people that we voted for just focus on us? Stop sending our money everywhere and focus on America. And I look, Republican, the term Republican, I don't even know what the hell that means. Conservative, I have no idea what a conservative means anymore. Make America Great, America First is now losing its meaning. It's becoming irrelevant because they bastardize it. I am becoming, someone brought this label to me, and I was like, yeah, I can't believe I have to go to another label, but this label is so direct and definitive and it's America only. How about we just focus solely on America only, no one else? But they won't do it. Why? Because there's no money in it. There's no power in it. I don't know, man. I'm at my wit's end with this federal government. It's grotesque. It's too big. Whatever happened to Doge? Whatever happened to all that, all the criminality that they exposed, and no one's arrested? What happened to Tulsi Gabbard coming out and going, "Yep, President Obama and all these people, they committed treason against America"? Nothing. Nothing. Elon Musk says we uncovered so much fraud in Social Security that we found one guy that had 400,000 fake Social Security numbers. Let me repeat that. 400,000 Social Security numbers. And Elon Musk said, I hope they go and arrest him first. He hasn't been arrested yet. He hasn't been arrested yet.
Yeah. It's wild. Okay, let me switch gears with you on John Fetterman, someone who has actually really shocked me. So he went against the status quo and said, "I'm going to put country over party." Boy, did he make a big mistake. And now he's realizing that the far left within his own party, they are just horrible. And let me just play this, because when he says this, it kind of broke my heart.
You said, quote, "I've drunk deeply of the venom of both the left and the right. As a connoisseur, I can confirm that the most poisonous, the bitterest, is from the far left." That is pretty remarkable to hear you say that as an elected Democrat. Why?
No. It's just been my personal experience on this thing. And when I asked my digital team, I said, we're on all the platforms. Really, what's kind of the harshest? What's kind of the most personal? And the answer was immediate. He said, "Oh, blue sky. It's blue sky." And the difference is, the right would say really rough things and names. Some names I won't repeat on TV, but the on the left, it was like they want me to die, or that we're cheering for your next stroke, or that's terrible that depression won. Why couldn't it depression won? And I hope your kids find you. They even have like the graphic, a GIF where they have like a stroke, in your head, cheering at that. Yeah, and they said that. I remember one. They claimed, "Oh, the doctor let us down," and why did they have to save his life? Just really, like, I just can't imagine. People are wishing, I wish he dies, or I want him to die. Literally cheering for a stroke. And I don't know what the kind of a place where that comes from. That's much different than just calling me a name. That's really been consistent, in that community online.
All right. So he chooses country over party, and he finds out his party is full of goblins and hateful people. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I want to say welcome to the club, sir. Welcome. I'm glad you've awakened to the fact that your party is evil. And I don't say that flippantly. I don't say, "Oh, you're just evil," just as like they call us Nazis. No, your party's evil, man. Your party was cheering when Charlie Kirk died. I don't like John Fetterman so much. He surprises me on some stuff where he's kind of common sense guy. Joe Biden, I completely despise him. But I never sat there going, I would love someone to shoot him in his neck, and I want to see him die on TV. Never would. I would like him to be arrested and be brought in front of a trial to show how you have 3 homes paid for in cash on $175,000 years for 40 years. Please show me how that happened. And if you can't go to jail, that's fine. But no one on our side is calling for people to be killed. Let me give you a great example. Anytime that we have any kind of parade, any kind of celebration, the left comes out and they attack us, not taunt us. They attack us. They hurt us. They try to kill us. And times they do kill us. What happens when the left, the No Kings rallies or riots or whatever? No one is peaceful. Nobody's there calling them names, fighting with them on our side. We just let them do what they got to do. Now we pick it apart as wise. We look at it, listen to them on their stupid interviews, and realize they're all paid and they're dumb. But no one's trying to kill them. So when we're in that space, and it looks like Senator Fetterman's like he has a shocking realization that, yeah, man, your party is filled with violent extremists that are evil. Yeah, welcome to the club, my man.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you got those leaked text messages from Jay Jones, the now elected Attorney General of Virginia. Like the Republicans were like, oh my gosh, this is horrifying. Like they want the children to suffer from seeing their dad dead. And then the Democrats vote that person into office. And then John Fetterman is like, oh, wait a minute. They want me dead. They want my children to find me dead from a stroke. Like, dude, it's time to switch parties. I don't know if he will. I don't think he will. But man, I mean, that guy, like, he just got a real slap in the face. Like, that guy is waking up faster than he wants.
Yeah, it is. It's it's the old saying that it's really the crime is really not that bad until the crime happens to you. It's not that bad, that's really sad that woman got raped, but it's okay. Where we're going to lunch, and then your wife gets raped, or your car gets stolen, or your child dies of fentanyl. Now it's extremely personal. Now you want it tackled and handled immediately. And that's what it feels like with Fetterman. Fetterman's like, I'm sure, because he came out against Charlie Kirk's, the people that were cheering him on, and he was saying this is not right, but it's still not the same until it happens to you. And then it becomes very personal. And I think that's what we just witnessed, where part of me just wants to like shake him and go, why are you so freaked out about this? Like, but he's like, he was distraught about that. Like, you and I are like, yeah, okay, I see that on my feed. I want to kill you. You're a Nazi and blah, blah, blah. And he's now getting it for the first time. And I think of what a lot of the Democrats are finding out is, oh, dear God, we've remained silent, and the absolute nut jobs have taken over our party.
Yeah. Reminds me of that Purge movie where like all the crazies come out.
We need that. Well, yeah. Hey, we actually, isn't it predictive programming? So don't be surprised if that does not pop up somewhere in the near future, a purge.
Yeah. Well, especially as they cut off more and more money to Antifa. We'll see what happens. Okay. Speaking of cutting off money, this caught me off guard. So a couple months ago, I reported to my community that Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine said, hey, America, where's the money? There's $100 billion missing. We never received that. And everyone's like, oh, well, maybe it was in weapons. Maybe you're not understanding goods and cash equaled that amount. But now we're finding out that like one of his closest friends is in trouble for stealing $100 million of American taxpayer money. And they just thought nobody. And now they're saying, okay, this dude has got to be removed. This war will never come to an end until he's removed. How do you feel about $100 million of our money being stolen by his close friend?
Oh, come on. It's just $100 million. It's not that big a deal. Come on. I think you're overreacting. I really do. I think that we should all just continue to pour money into Ukraine, and it's okay. America's doing great. Everyone's doing well. Look, man, I take my son to this is unbelievable. If you had to guess this city, you would never guess it. The city that has the largest skate park in North America is Des Moines, Iowa. So my son is a skater, scooter, X-Game kid. So we'll drive the hours there and spend all day, maybe spend the night. Driving to and from, I got to go through Iowa and into Missouri. I'm on interstates in the United States of America. And when I'm done driving, I feel as if every bolt in my car has fallen out, and my car is just going to fall on the ground because our roads suck so bad. And you're sending $300+ billion to Ukraine, and everyone's been saying they've been stealing it. And now his best friend, do you know how? It's not like they stole $100 million digitally too. I want your audience to understand. A lot of it is pallets of cash. So do you know how much You know how heavy your luggage has to be to have $100 million? I mean, my God. Yeah, but it's just, but like you and I both, we just put our hands to our head and we're just like, maybe it's at that point that Americans become so exasperated, right? I'm looking at I have a great healthcare plan because of my retirement from the United States Border Patrol, but I'm spending $1,000 a month on my premiums. Where in God's name am I supposed to, in any world, pay $1,000 premium a month for healthcare? But you sent $300 billion to Ukraine, or as the mental patient, the mentally dead bag of skin, McConnell said, it's really not going to Ukraine. You see, it goes to all of the munitions and war effort at Boeing and BlackRock. It stays in America. Oh, okay. Then that makes me feel so much better, you stupid bastard. Everything's fine. Just spend our money. If it doesn't make you mad as an American, I don't know what does. I don't know what's going to wake you up. What is, maybe this is what we call the new John Fetterman. What is your Fetterman moment? Like, when do you become awake to the world around you? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't either. And you know what? Like I've been praying that McConnell retire, that Schumer retire, that Pelosi retire, and I'm like, I'm finally getting my dreams. But then I see who's coming up in the party, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it could be worse. Like,
no. Are you telling me that you don't have faith in John Thune? Are you telling me that you don't like his charismatic personality and his leadership? And don't you want to go fight a war for John Thune? Don't you feel engaged? Or would you rather go under the little General Johnson? Would you go into war with little Johnson with his beautifully coiffed over hair? Come on. I'm so tired of having my life impacted by people that I wouldn't even be friends with, more or less be in a business relationship with, and they have profound impact on my day-to-day well-being. It's maddening. It's maddening. But Nancy Pelosi, thank God for Nancy Pelosi that she was able to, over her career, have a it's hard to say with a straight face, have a cumulative windfall of 17,000% increase on all of her investments. Somebody needs shouldn't we study her? Like, shouldn't we, all the financial and everyone that's in trying to get an MBA like at Harvard and Yale, shouldn't they just focus on Nancy Pelosi? How did she, with that incredible intellect and that pea brain of hers, get 17,000% return on her investment? Why is anybody not just focusing on her? A higher percentage by thousands than Warren Buffett, the greatest trader ever in the world.
Yeah, he too bad he's like 98, because he would definitely be studying her and figuring out how to bring Berkshire Hathaway bigger returns.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, final story. Anyone that watches me knows that I'm an optimist. I try to let people know the good that Trump is doing, but I'm not the only one feeling this. This is trending on X. A lot of people are very unhappy with his Laura Ingraham interview, where he said, of course we need 600,000 Chinese people in our universities. And a lot of people are going, wait a minute, why are we giving the Chinese an elite education instead of Americans? Why are we letting the Chinese come in here when even if 1% of 600,000 end up being spies, thousands of spies in the country? I mean, one of the most concerning things from Border Patrol wasn't that Mexicans were coming across the border. It was all of the Chinese people that were coming to America, because you can't leave China without permission, right? So I don't know. What are your thoughts on him saying, of course, we need to have 600,000 Chinese students?
I was extremely disappointed in President Trump. I believe you are either all in on America first or you're all out. And he's somehow trying to play this middle ground. And he's a highly intelligent man, obviously. But he doubled and tripled down on that interview where Laura Ingraham, to her credit, said, you're funding 600,000 Chinese to come in here? And you're telling me that without them, that the universities fail? And she goes, well, that'd be a good thing. And he doubles down. Nope, I won't let that happen. It's bad business. So my question to Donald Trump is, are you telling me the great university system that we have depends and hinges on the fact how many foreign nationals we have come in? That's what you're trying to sell me, Donald Trump. And then I know you have some children. I have a young son, 14, going to high school next year. He's going to bust his ass doing everything he can. And then if he wants to go to college, sorry, Joseph, you can't go to college because they took 1,000 Chinese nationals. What? Yeah, you're just not admitted because, as Donald Trump said, they pay double. So we're going to punish you. Now, just your audience has an understanding. In Ivy League schools in Columbia, just as an example, Columbia student population is 50%, over 50% foreign students. Are you telling me that means thousands of U.S. citizens were denied admission to, quote, one of the best schools, Columbia? Why? Because the foreigners pay double. That's why. We're so broken, and Donald Trump has basically crapped on his base. And I'm watching, as you said, it's trending on X. Americans are furious. And then you lay on top of that his new H1B1 stance about Americans are untalented and don't have the ability. He's going to lose the midterm. None of his MAGA base is going to go vote. They're not going to go vote. They're going to sit home and they're going to go, why? We went all in on you, President Trump, because you were basically the very last person that we could bank on. And you're telling us we're untalented and we need Chinese nationals? I always ask people this. So this is just critical thinking 101. If it's beneficial to have foreign nationals in America because they're so beneficial to our economy, schools, society, cultural norms, then why are we not bringing all of them in? Why are we not have at least equal to them as equal to all of us untalented, uneducated people? So meaning, why don't we have 350 million foreign nationals in America instead of 50 million? Because it's absurd, right? And no one believes it. And Donald Trump, for some reason, believes it. And that pisses me off.
Yeah. This has been a rough week. I mean, some of his most loyal people are saying 50-year mortgage, that enslaves people. 15-year car payment? What are you guys thinking? They're just going to jack up the price of cars so that they can, because the payment will stay the same if you take it over 15 years versus 5 years or 7 years or 3 years. I don't know. It's like they came back from these foreign tours with foreign ideas that the rest of us are going, I want to get out of debt, not into more debt. I want life to be affordable, not more expensive. I don't know. It's been a rough week.
It has been. Well, let's look at real quick. Let's look at the 50-year mortgage. We didn't ask for that, Donald Trump. You know what we asked for? We asked for mass deportations. Right now, there's 50 million illegal aliens in America. There's 55 million legal visa holders in America. So that means we're housing an extra 105 million people. You want to talk about a mortgage and rent decreasing? You get rid of all those people. We have a surplus, not a deficit, a surplus of homes. Now the market rights itself, and now guess what? I can get a 30-year mortgage. You know what? I might get a 15-year mortgage, and I have so much money in my pocket, maybe I'll double pay my 15-year mortgage, and in 7, 8, 10 years, I'll be mortgage free. No. This dude wants to straddle me another 20 effing years to the bank. No, Trump. No. How about you just do what we voted for you to do? No one, I never heard of a 50-year mortgage or a 15-year car note. How about you just deport everyone out of our country and then the economy takes care of itself? But no, that seems to be too big of a problem because he has to get a Nobel Peace Prize. right? That's he has to have that. Look, I'm a big Trump guy and MAGA guy, and I'm telling you, if I'm wavering in my support for him, I can't imagine what other people are doing.
Yeah. I'm going to throw out another idea. This is similar to the dry up the money for the blue and use your hardworking men and women in the red.
Let me hear this.
Yeah.
All right.
So, like, what if they just said, "Hey, listen, we're going to deport a bunch of people. It's going to free up like 5 million houses. The government is going to help you take out a low interest rate construction loan to remodel those houses. We don't actually need more houses. And then construction can boom. You've got people with tradecraft coming in, doing something. Like, there's a lot of houses that are falling apart that need a lot of attention, but it's expensive to get them renovated. And then you've got contractors, they just keep building McMansions, 7, 8, 9-bedroom houses. Like, who's going to buy those? You just need regular houses for regular families. So I don't know. That's just a thought that I have, is like, hey, we're going to help you guys get these remodel loans, and we're going to have 5 million houses. People are going to be able to get a house. You're going to be able to get a low interest rate to repair. I don't know. I try to be creative and think outside the box, and that doesn't usually involve enslaving you to decades of more debt.
Well, what you're suggesting dovetails or is tied right to what I'm saying. Stop sending all of our money overseas. In the last 2.5 decades, so about 25 years, we have spent, per both parties, Democrats and Republicans, have admitted we're almost at $10 trillion. $10 trillion in the Middle East. What could we have done for Americans in 25 years when spending or not spending $10 trillion? So if you just take care of Americans, look, I have no problem with the government saying, you know what, the interest rates are 7%. If you buy a house, we're going to kick it down. We'll buy it down, make it affordable for you, because guess what? We're in the black. We're not giving Israel their billions. We're not giving Nigeria. We're not giving Ukraine. No one's getting anything. We're going to take care of Americans. Why is that so freaking hard to comprehend? Why is that so difficult to agree upon, that we should solely take care of Americans? But they won't do it. Why? And that's the bigger question. This small 3-letter word never is asked. Why? Why not? Why do you continue to do the things that harm us? Because no one wants to hear the answer to that America is a moral cesspool right now. We are run by evil, disgusting people that have been in politics for 30, 40 years. And no one wants to do anything. Everyone wants to do the same damn thing, and we're all shocked when the situation gets worse and worse and worse. We need to start doing things differently that are made on common sense. And when Donald Trump comes out and say Indians are better than Americans, we need more Chinese students, we all stand up and say, sir, you either start doing what we want, or guess what? We'll allow the hyenas and the jackals on the left to attack you. The only thing standing between you and them is us. We're here for you. But if you turn your back on us, we will turn our back on you. Buckle up, President Trump, and start doing what we want. That's how it works. You work for us, sir. Period.
Yeah.
And we need to get back to that.
Yeah. All right. I decided if I get 45 seconds with Trump, I'm going to tell him my red and blue idea. And then I'm going to just say to him, remember when you were in Saudi Arabia and you saw their beautiful palaces, that there was nobody homeless, that they had plenty of food, and you were just blown away by that? The reason is they spend their money on their own people.
Yeah.
Let's just do that. Let's just do that.
You're crazy. No, you're insane. That's so. No, let's give more money to Ukraine. That's the answer. Like, let's ask Lindsey Graham. He'll tell you. You're crazy, man. You're crazy.
Yeah. The Lindsey Graham, make Lindsey Graham great again.
Oh.
Well, this has been an interesting discussion. Hopefully, people just see that some of this comes from a place of love, because we love our country. We want our people I'm American. You're American. We want our people taken care of. We want our country taken care of. We want our people healthy, our people safe, our America great. So this is why we say this stuff and share this stuff. But JJ, if people want to catch you, where can I point them towards?
Just go to my website, jjcarroll.com. Has all my shows on there and my books, etc. Just go to jjcarroll.com. Always love our conversation. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'll put that direct link. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, man.